You want me to get Rice to paint all this stuff?
What?
Oh, sorry. Hello. Good morning. Today is the 40th day of the counting of the Omer, right? Mm-hmm. And we're just. Good morning. Today is the Omer.
There you go.
And we are about to approach the very end of the Song of All Songs.
The song. I love that.
The song. She is the song. So let's begin with a prayer for
also the
learning.
Poem, the poem, by the way, in our language, song
Shir.
and poem, the same word.
Same word, right?
Let's see who's here. Oh, hi, Larry. Okay. Yes, we got what to think about, pray about.
Welcome back. Glad you're back, Jim.
Hi, Jody.
Do the prayer for learning, please.
Okay. We analyzed it last night in my class, by the way. It was really rich. It was really beautiful.
Analyzed what?
The prayer that I chant every morning.
Oh, nice.
And also we looked at the differences between the prayers that appears in our prayer book and the way it appears in the Talmud in Brachot, which was also really interesting. But you have to come to my class to get that. Ve'arevna Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toracha b'fim u'b'fi amcha beit Yisrael v'nihyeh אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל. כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך נשמע. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. O God, pause. Make the words of your teachings pleasant on our lips and the lips of all of those that come onto our screens. Let's see who's here. Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Diane. So that we can spend a time in learning for what? For what advantage?
Lishma.
Lishma.
For its
for
own
the
sake.
pleasure of it, for its own sake.
For its own sake, Lishma.
Lishma.
No expectation.
Blessed are you.
Unattached.
Other than opening the doors, the 50 paths of wisdom, the 50 paths to knowledge.
Okay.
We're moving through the 49 entryways, and the 50th doorway, we open onto our durable wisdom, our book. Blessed are you who teaches in this fashion. Amen. Hello, Todd. Okay. Well, we have lots of new texts, I'm sorry to say, that I have today, but let's go through some of them anyway. All right? Some of them. I'm sorry I have these new texts. It's counting in the 6th week, the week of Yesod, an integrating middle pole. Remember, each week has an energy. This week is especially significant because, oh my God, what a week. And what's the week? It's Yesod. And what's Yesod? Yesod is body wisdom. To make what we know into what we do. Is this not what we're preoccupied with now? What we know into what we do. And to calling our leaders into account to practice that principle of this week that forever will be known by this horrific events. The week of Yesod, an integrating middle pole. It's an integrating principle, not integrated until what we learn, what we know, becomes what we do. The wisdom as expressed in body wisdom. Looking for soul in Hod, the second pass. We think we know, we do not know. We are holding breath in Hod. What to do? Hold it in your breath. Take a deep breath. The exhale will be a slow slide into body wisdom, the wisdom of knowing what to do. Chesed, love, gevura, restraint, tiferet, beauty, first triad. Second triad, netzach, you think you know. Hod, you do not. Yesod, foundation in the body. And then malchut, the spigot, the funnel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu v'tzvotav v'tzivanu asfirat ha'omer. Hayom 40 yom shehem 5 shavuot ו5 yamim la'omer. Today is day 40 of the Omer, which is 5 weeks and 5 days of the Omer. Bless our president, our vice president, our mayor, our mayors, and all their noble retinue. The people who went to work there for all the best reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Depending on you now.
Yeah.
The counting of the Omer, let's see here. So let's miss that one.
Depending on them to resist, like Beto did. Speak up for truth.
Let's do this one.
Right.
The counting of the Omer is taught by the poets of rock and roll and Ben Bagbag. Fountain, its origins, love, chesed, loving kindness overflowing. Negotiations by gevura, restraint. Lifted up and balanced into tiferet, beauty. With netzach, this time ready, second pass, you think you know. You do not know. Looking for soul in Hod, settling into synthesis, Yesod in your slacks. With malchut, the spigot is yours. Turn it. Don't turn it. I have one we added this week.
Okay.
This is called what? What does it mean? It's a good question, but not the only question. Now the question, what to do? First, attached to meaning is the silent heart of grief, which precedes the what it means question. The world cracked. Hate corrupts. Love repairs. We know this. But the first response is always the silent heart of mourning, which is the opening to the heart of wisdom. Sometime into the future, we will respond by knowing what to do. For now, open a moment to the silence of suffering, still a part of our story, a part of the world story. Pray for peace in the grandest and most individual ways, the peace of the near and the peace of the far, and healing for the losses, and some sort of comfort for us all. Amen.
Well, it's certainly something to pray for, but I don't hold up any hope for healing. I don't hold up any hope for comfort. In fact, I think it's important that we stay in this place of discomfort of brokenness, of pain, for as long as we can until something changes. And I think that this Shunammite woman that we've come to know through these many weeks together, these 40, days
40
of
days.
counting, and these 6 weeks approaching the 7th week, the last week of the Omer. This Shunammite woman yesterday told us, I don't need you to be a wall for me, and I don't need you to reward me for that wall. I am my own wall. I keep myself chaste, right? I am my own wall. And this is why I am whole.
She's like a migdal, like a
She
tower.
is. She's her own tower, though. She doesn't need anybody to make a tower around her. She survived. She survived the assault on her when she left the safety of the king's court in pursuit of her lover, and she was molested. She survived that. It didn't pollute her. It didn't destroy her. It changed her, I'm sure. Maybe it made her more resolute in her affirmation of self. And we hear that today. In these verses 11 and 12 of this last chapter of Shir HaShirim,
Did you
the
mention
Song
that
of
we're
Songs.
almost done?
Yeah, these are the last. So tomorrow we'll have the last 2 verses, but today we have 11 and 12.
And then that leaves us with the last week to open the spigot.
Yeah, to open the spigot. It's perfect.
And to review,
Yeah, take those motifs that really have been so compelling. What it means to belong to someone, what it means to not be seduced by the institution and the wealth and the riches, what it means not to be part of the institutionalized oppression that this woman is resisting with every fiber of who she is. She is the Shunammite woman. She is making her own destiny. She's not leaving it up to the rules of the game. So
sometimes these pieces seem so fragmentary.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way they're mostly interpreted, right, by scholars, that they're pieces.
On the other hand,
but somebody redacted them, and in the redaction, they feel connected. They feel like they're telling a story.
The way it's concluding,
yes,
the way
definitely.
we've gone through it, it feels like it's really a summit. It's really an ending.
Yeah, it does.
A pause.
Yeah, she's claimed
and a really
right
beautiful
to
one.
Be
Beautiful pause.
Yeah, for sure. It points out in 11 and 12 that it's really up for grabs the gender of the person who's speaking.
Kerem Haya.
Mm-hmm. And, this language of Kerem Haya, a vineyard, there was unto Shlomo.
Remember, Shlomo's only mentioned a couple of times in the poem. I think 3 times.
Solomon, even though it's, Shir.
And according to one of the commentators
Mm-hmm.
I deal with, this may be the source of the tradition. He thinks that this may
be
here.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there's a lot of mystery in this verse. What is this place?
Baal Hamon.
Baal Hamon. It's not a known place.
No, but it could be. It could be riches. Hamon.
Yeah.
Riches. Yeah. A place of wealth. And here we have again this contrast of what is real wealth. Is the wealth the freedom of the pasture, the freedom of the hills outside of the big cities? What is wealth?
Baal Hamon.
Baal Hamon. We're rejecting Baal Hamon here, right?
Moshe
Gross, right, exactly. Shlomo, and Solomon is beloved in the tradition. He's the wisdom of Shlomo, right? Solomon, his name also, like the Shulamite, is peace. Shlomo, Shulamit, Shulam, Shunamit.
But what is the source of his peace? What is the source of his wealth? What is the source of his elevation?
Well, you see, when I think what we have here is a very interesting observation that when you have that much wealth, when you have vineyards in Balhamon that are so much wealth and riches and investment, right? You have to give it over to the vineyard
He gave it over
keepers.
to the keepers.
Over to the keepers. Now, if so vineyard is the wealth, but vineyard is also, remember that the vineyard is her sexuality. Vineyard is her selfhood, is her ownership of her own her body, her yesod.
Karmi Shali.
Her body, right?
My vineyard. There's an unusual construction here. My vineyard.
In
my
verse
vineyard.
12.
It's mine.
Yeah. But first finish verse 11. What do we have here? We have this this hill of plenty, and he has to give it over to watchmen, because when you have something that's worthwhile, right, that everybody wants, you got to hire guards, right? You have to hire people for that 1,000 pieces of silver. You have to protect it. It's it takes a lot to have a lot, I think, is what it's saying here. And maybe that's not really what you want, right? I know, it's like,
I'm also interested always in the language here. These additional little pronomial additions.
right.
Is my vineyard, that's mine. That's before me. Ha'elef lecha, the 1,000 to you, Shlomo.
Keep yours, right? Keep yours.
These little additions that appear.
My vineyard, I can take care of it myself. I don't need to pay people to take. I don't need guards. I don't need the harems. I don't need anything. I got my own vineyard.
These unusual,
it's mine.
Additional constructions of possession that appear through the text, through the whole poem.
It does, yeah.
This is mine. This is yours. These distinctions that are made are reiterated with an additional word that's really not necessary. Karmi, Shali, mine.
Well, but I think it is necessary if you're reading it as, you keep yours, Solomon. I had a taste of that. It's not so wonderful. It's like a prison, You're imprisoned by your wealth. You're imprisoned by the harems. You got to take care of everybody.
But it draws attention to itself. It's not necessary to the meaning. It's an emphasis.
Karmi Shali.
Yeah. Ha'elef lecha, the 1,000 to you. Shlomo.
Well, it's poetic. It is poetic, isn't it?
It's interesting. Well, it's purposeful, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, you can interpret it a bunch of ways, but
my vineyard is all my own. So keep yours, Solomon. You pay. You pay for the people who have to guard your fruit. I don't have to do that. I am my own wall. Remember, I take care of myself. My vineyard, my body, myself is mine. I don't have to pay anybody to take care of it. And, that was her issue in the last few verses with her brothers. I don't need you. I love you. You're my brothers, but I don't need you. My wall is my wall. It's not your wall to put silver turrets on, right? Right.
Okay, should we do a prayer for healing now?
Well, let's finish that. That, again, King Solomon had a vineyard on the hill of plenty, the blacks say. He gave that vineyard to watchmen, and each would earn for its fruit 1,000 pieces of silver. But my vineyard is all my own. So keep your 1,000, Solomon. You pay, to those who must guard the fruit.
And those that keep the fruit, 200.
My garden, my vineyard.
See, he's doing business here. She's got it set up that she's doing business here. He's doing business.
He has to, because he has to guard, that's the institution, the institutionalized
But there's such a big difference between somebody who's doing business and counting. Also, the numbers are precise.
Yeah.
Interesting to me that the
1,000
numbers.
to right.
Somebody that's doing business and somebody that's talking about something else.
Mm.
And those two voices don't always communicate so well. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting that it's written in the language of doing business. This is how many. This is how many it takes to keep the gardens, keep the vineyards.
Because she's saying, I don't need that. I got my own garden. I just love this woman. I really do. Love outweighs the riches of this world, right? Love outweighs the riches of this world. Autonomy, freedom is not being part of the institution.
In the verses before, she's talking about she's a wall. She calls herself a wall.
Yeah.
So
she's her own wall.
Yeah.
You see, because if you look like
here, you got Shlomo with his vineyards and stuff, and there's a description of how he keeps them and who he keeps them over and how many keepers he has and how much money he's got. How much he brought 1,000 pieces of silver. And it's two kind of interesting consciousnesses that I think are not always so easily integrated with each other. They don't speak so well to each other always. So we have the sense here of two different vocabularies towards the end.
Yeah, well, I think you have the patriarchy and you have the Shunammite woman. You got the institution with its rules, and you've got her making her own rules and teaching us that love outweighs the riches of this world. That's not real. It's illusion, because it's a trap. They're a trap. Remember when she was part of that world in the harem? She hated it.
If she is a wall, we will build. If she is a door.
Yeah, well, you know how that was interpreted, though, right? If she's a wall, okay, good. We're going to reward her because she's chaste. But if she's been a door opening to any, Tom, Dick, and Harry, forget it.
Yeah, but I would, of course, we wouldn't read it that way. We would like to read it in a way that let the images speak, let them breathe a little. She is. And little sister becomes an important phrase for us. We use that during the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah especially, Echad Chatana, our little sister. Not literally our sister, but.
Well, when they sent her away, she was their little sister. She is not their little sister anymore. I think, we have this contrast of romanticizing the text and feeling the text as a woman who that's been done to.
Okay, let's make the Holy Prayer.
Okay, God knows we need healing prayers. God knows we need healing prayers. God knows we need the lessons of love to get us through these horrific times. It's Memorial Day weekend coming up. It's the last week of the counting of the Omer. Just a lot of convergence coming together. So for the broken people, especially the people who have lost their children. It's so unnatural. Lost hopes and dreams.
Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf. For the healing of the spirit and the healing of the body. For those we know, and for those we don't know.
families in Valdi, families in Buffalo, all the families who have lost children to these terrible school shootings, where this triggers their pain again and again and again.
On my right, the angel Michael. On my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel. Behind me, the angel Raphael. Above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head. Shekhinah Teo. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, great healer. Amen. Amen.
Thanks for joining us on this 40th day of the counting of the Omer.
We're going to finish the text tomorrow.
You will finish Shir HaShirim, the Song of All Songs, tomorrow.
That will leave us the next week, the last week,
for the spigot.
For the spigot to open up some of the passages that were especially beautiful for us.
Yeah, it has been a beautiful
journey.
For you too. It's all about love. All about love and not being a victim.
So join us. Come on back tomorrow, and then next week we'll breathe some space into it.
Yeah. Have a good day on this 26th day of May, 2022, 40th day of the Omer.